Before he led one of the world's biggest tech transformations, Satya Nadella was just a quiet engineer, quietly building his reputation inside Microsoft. Born in Hyderabad, India, he joined the company in 1992, years before becoming CEO. Yet few outside the company even knew his name, until 2014, when Microsoft stunned the world with a surprising choice for their new leader. By the early 2010s, Microsoft was struggling. Once the undisputed king of software, it had missed the mobile revolution, and its image felt dated. Internally, teams were siloed, innovation stalled, and morale dropped. Stock prices stagnated. The world was moving to the cloud, but Microsoft wasn't leading. Many wondered if the company had become too big, too slow, too late to change. Satya Nadella's first bold move as CEO shifted Microsoft's entire focus to cloud computing. It wasn't just a tech decision, it was cultural. He dismantled silos, encouraged collaboration, and pushed Azure to the forefront. Many doubted the pivot, but Nadella wasn't chasing trends. He saw the cloud not just as infrastructure, but as the future of productivity, AI, and business itself. Nadella knew that without cultural change, cloud success would be short-lived. He rewrote Microsoft's mission, no longer about dominating PCs, but about empowering others. The old know-it-all culture shifted to learn-it-all. He flattened hierarchies, invited empathy, and even brought growth mindset principles into leadership training. This wasn't just rebranding, it was a reprogramming of Microsoft's DNA. While Amazon's Oz dominated early, Nadella quietly scaled Azure, Microsoft's cloud platform, into a global force. He focused on hybrid solutions, winning enterprise trust. Azure didn't make headlines at first, but it made contracts. From government agencies to Fortune 500s, Nadella positioned Microsoft as the cloud for business. The strategy: don't chase Amazon, outpartner them. In 2018, Microsoft shocked the developer world by acquiring GitHub. Critics panicked. Would Microsoft control open source? But Nadella had a different message: respect developers, don't dominate them. He let GitHub operate independently, sent strong signals of trust, and rebuilt Microsoft's image within the coding community. What once seemed like a hostile empire was now becoming a partner in innovation. Nadella wasn't just chasing cloud revenue, he was rebuilding Microsoft's reputation. Under his lead, Surface devices got sleeker, Xbox regained momentum, and LinkedIn became part of the ecosystem. Suddenly, Microsoft wasn't just functional, it was aspirational. Developers started wearing Microsoft hoodies unironically. For the first time in years, the company felt cool again. Behind Nadella's business moves was something deeper: empathy. He spoke openly about raising a son with special needs and how it reshaped his leadership. Instead of command and control, he listened. Instead of pushing harder, he connected deeper. Microsoft's culture began mirroring his tone: more human, more inclusive. For Nadella, empathy wasn't weakness, it was strategy. In 2019, something unthinkable happened. Microsoft, not Apple, became the most valuable company on earth. Nadella's bet on cloud, culture, and clarity had paid off. It wasn't flashy, it was focused. While others chased headlines, he delivered results. Wall Street took notice. Tech insiders were stunned. The old Microsoft had quietly become unstoppable. As the world shifted again, Nadella made his next bet: AI. Microsoft partnered with OpenAI, embedding intelligence into tools like Azure, GitHub Copilot, and even Office. This wasn't hype, it was infrastructure for a smarter future. Nadella believed that whoever democratized AI first would define the next era of tech, and once again, he moved early. Not every move was perfect. Microsoft teams faced early backlash, TikTok negotiations collapsed, and HoloLens stumbled. But Nadella owned failures publicly and adapted quickly. He didn't hide behind PR, he leaned into transparency. Each stumble became a lesson, and each lesson sharpened Microsoft's path forward. In a world obsessed with perfection, Nadella proved that progress is messy. For Nadella, success wasn't just revenue, it was relevance. He redefined Microsoft not as a product company, but a platform for possibility. His mantra: don't be cool, be useful. Under his leadership, Microsoft became essential again in boardrooms, classrooms, and living rooms. This wasn't about chasing trends, it was about building what endures. Nadella's Microsoft no longer revolved around Windows. In fact, he downplayed it, choosing instead to lead in cloud, AI, and platforms. It was a quiet revolution, moving from selling boxes to enabling ecosystems. The man once shaped by Windows had now unshackled Microsoft from it. Satya Nadella didn't just turn a company around, he redefined what tech leadership could look like: calm over charisma, vision over volume. He empowered engineers, welcomed humility, and championed purpose. As a new generation enters tech, they aren't just learning to code, they're learning to lead like Nadella. With Microsoft thriving, one question remains: what's next for Satya Nadella? He's hinted at expanding Microsoft's role in sustainability, ethics in AI, and global equity. But if history tells us anything, Nadella doesn't chase the spotlight, he shapes what's behind it, quietly, strategically, and always a few steps ahead. Satya Nadella taught us that leadership isn't loud, it's consistent, that true power lies in clarity, empathy, and reinvention. He didn't rebuild Microsoft by force, he did it by listening. In an era of noise, he proved that quiet conviction can echo across the world. This isn't a story with an ending because Satya Nadella's journey is far from over. His legacy isn't a single product, it's a mindset, a culture, a compass for future builders. As Microsoft shapes the next chapter of tech, cloud, AI, sustainability, it does so with Nadella's fingerprints on every line of code and every human it empowers. He was born in Hyderabad, India, thousands of miles from Silicon Valley. A curious boy, fascinated by cricket and computers. No one could have predicted he'd someday lead one of the world's biggest tech empires. But Satya Nadella's story reminds us, greatness isn't always loud and it doesn't always start in boardrooms. Sometimes it begins in quiet corners of the world. Satya Nadella's journey offers more than headlines, it offers a roadmap. Lead with empathy, stay curious, reinvent constantly. Whether you're building a startup or navigating a career, his principles apply. Because transformation isn't magic, it's mindset. And in a world that's changing faster than ever, those who learn like Nadella will lead like him. In a world of loud CEOs and viral moments, Satya Nadella stayed steady. No scandals, no drama, just results. He turned Microsoft into a cloud powerhouse, rebuilt its soul, and redefined leadership for a new age, quietly, powerfully, intentionally. And in doing so, reminded us that lasting change doesn't shout, it builds. What the world rarely sees are the quiet gestures, the hallway conversations, handwritten notes, moments with grieving employees. Nadella didn't just lead systems, he led people. The small things, the human things, became the core of Microsoft's transformation. Because for him, culture wasn't a memo, it was every single choice. Ask his colleagues and a pattern emerges. He listens, he empowers, he leads by example. From entry-level engineers to senior VPs, the sentiment is the same. Satya Nadella made them better, not just at work, but as people. The truest mark of leadership, when your presence lifts others, even after you're gone. For Satya Nadella, this was never just a job. It was a belief that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. That leadership is measured by who you lift, not what you control. In the tech world, trends fade fast, but philosophy endures. And Nadella's, it's now part of Microsoft's DNA. In the shadow of giants and the glare of headlines, Satya Nadella led differently, with grace, with humility, with quiet courage. He didn't demand admiration, he earned it. And while history may spotlight others, those who watch closely know who truly turned the tide. To the man who rebuilt Microsoft and redefined leadership, thank you. What if Satya Nadella had never joined Microsoft in 1992? What if he stayed in India or took a different path? Would Microsoft have transformed? Would the cloud still rise? Sometimes history hinges not on explosions, but quiet choices. One man, one offer letter, one decision to say yes. From Azure to AI, from empathy to execution, Nadella's impact now spans continents. Millions of students, developers, doctors, and dreamers rely on tools shaped by his vision. His decisions didn't just move markets, they moved lives. That's the ripple effect of leadership done right, not just leading a company, leading change. One day, Satya Nadella will step away from Microsoft, but his leadership, it will remain etched into culture, code, and countless careers. Because true leadership isn't about being irreplaceable, it's about making others capable. That's what he did, not with noise, but with nuance. When he leaves, Microsoft won't start over. It will move forward with his fingerprints still guiding the way. He never craved the spotlight, he never sought to be a symbol. But somehow Satya Nadella became both, a technologist who wrote code and rewrote culture, a CEO who scaled cloud servers and human empathy. His story isn't just Microsoft's, it's a mirror for what leadership can be, quiet, strong, enduring. You can measure a company by revenue, but a legacy, you measure it in people, in every intern who found purpose, in every engineer who stayed curious, in every leader who chose empathy over ego. Satya Nadella didn't just transform Microsoft, he transformed the people within it, and through them, he'll keep leading long after he's gone. Microsoft's future is still being built, line by line, team by team, but its foundation, that's Nadella's gift, a foundation of trust, of reinvention, of quiet strength. The world may remember the code, the cloud, the deals, but those who were watching closely will remember the man who changed everything by changing how we led. If Satya Nadella's story inspired you, don't stop here. Hit subscribe and join us as we uncover the untold strategies, quiet revolutions, and bold moves behind today's greatest leaders. Because behind every tech empire is a mindset worth studying. Want to lead with vision, empathy, and impact? This channel is where that journey begins.